We all remember the southeast coast hit hard 2 years ago by Hurricane Matthew. That October storm brought feet of storm surge as well as heavy rain to coastal Georgia. This aerial view giving you a scope of the damage. And Dr. Knabb, Georgia, one of the harder hit areas.
Yeah, and I toured this area after Matthew when I was with the Hurricane Center, and we went and looked and saw the storm surge flooding 3, 4, and 5 feet in that area. And as Matthew scraped the coastline, it had a pretty significant onshore push, even though it didn't make landfall in Georgia. And then, just 2 years removed from Florence, right, we've had a lot of rainfall in North Carolina, but in Savannah, they got more than 17 inches of rain, so it was an inland flood problem there as well. And, the Savannah and the Georgia coastal area, Chatham County, Tybee Island, has a long history with hurricanes, especially if you look way back. I mean, we had Matthew in 2016. We've had other systems in the 70s and 80s, including David, and then in the 50s. But the most notorious hurricane in Georgia history is the Sea Islands hurricane from 1893, fifth deadliest hurricane in U.S. history, between 1,000 and 2,000 deaths due to storm surge.
Yeah, and Chatham County, Georgia, is now the third county in the nation to be designated as a hurricane-strong community. So what does that mean to everybody watching? They're going, how do you get that?
Well, this is the Federal Alliance for Safe Homes, a nonprofit flash that recognizes on a number of fronts in terms of efforts to urge more people to buy flood insurance, increasing their community rating for overall flood risk, and lessening the risk and lessening the premiums. Current building codes adopted and reinforced, resilient school systems and businesses, and then on a broader level, it's also important for there to be local officials or senators or governors or representatives that are intentionally leading the effort, and also with community outreach programs. It is really important to have strong leaders in the community.
Yeah. Well, let's talk to one of those leaders. Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter helped to get the ball rolling in applying for that Hurricane Strong designation. We're fortunate to be joined by the congressman tonight via Skype. This was the third county to be designated, first in Georgia. Why was it so important to you to get that ball rolling and to get this started in Chatham County?
Well, certainly we've had our experience with hurricanes, as you just pointed out, with Matthew and then Irma, all within 11 months. And we've learned our important lessons. Just last week, I had a hurricane preparedness roundtable where we brought everybody together to review what we had learned and what changes we needed to make. And it was very productive. But this was an opportunity for us to show as a community that we are prepared and that we are hurricane strong, that we have learned important lessons, and that we're going to be ready next time it happens again.
And Congressman, two of the things that always come to my mind when I'm looking to help people be safer from the water hazards from hurricanes and to be able to recover from them is to know your evacuation zone and to evacuate when you get out, when told to get out, and to have flood insurance. And these are a couple of areas that have been a challenge nationwide. And how are you addressing them?
Well, that was part of our criteria, if you will, being designated a hurricane strong community, that we participated in all of these different things, that we had our building codes, as you noted earlier, our building codes were up to date, but also that we recognized and we encourage all of our citizens to make sure they have flood insurance, to make sure that they know evacuation routes, to make sure that they have emergency equipment on hand. All of these things go into making for a well-prepared community, and that's what we're so proud of. And a shout out and kudos to the Chatham Emergency
A flash flood warning has been issued for our area.
And also the Chatham County Commission who backed this effort and supported it.
And you never want to let your guard down once you've got it. So what's still top of the list to continue to work on? We're not done with this hurricane season. We know there's going to be another. You still always want to stay on top of your game. What's still on top of your list as far as things to get done in the county?
Well, you always want to be prepared. And certainly we continue, and Chatham Emergency Management, SEMA, continues to work with the Georgia Emergency Management Agency to make sure that our citizens are well informed of what they need, how they need to be prepared, to make sure that our evacuation routes are updated, that they are constantly being updated, all of those things that that we want to be prepared. You're right. We're not out of the hurricane season yet. And certainly we dodged a bullet, if you will, with Florence. And certainly our thoughts and prayers go out to all of those who were impacted by that, because I can tell you, we've been there and done that. We know how difficult it is. So we do have them in our thoughts and prayers.
Well, Congressman, we thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your insight on this, and congratulations on earning that designation. You know, Dr. Knapp, this is something that you always talk about being so important. It's really getting a few of the main bullet points when you're talking about a prepared community, home, region.
Yeah, there's personal responsibility, but leadership in the and the communities, like this recognition is pointing out for Chatham County, is an example for other parts of the country to help lower your flood insurance premiums, advertise those evacuation zones, make everybody